This is WaXed.
Well, holla, you surfers, you goddamn nerds. I'm just kidding. We're all part of the tribe. How the brakes looking?
ESPN Radio Sports Center. A weekly surf talk radio show.
Hopefully when you go out there,
I'm
you'll
Doug
find
Brown.
your
Let's
green
get
card
right
and
to the
surf
college
on
football.
Poser.
With your hosts, Cyrus Saatsaz.
All I need are some tasty waves, cool buzz, and I'm fine.
Omar Etcheverry.
Locals only, you fucking grommet. Stay off my beat!
And Natalie Rose with the news and weekend surf report.
Surfing is out of this world. You just can't imagine the thrill of shooting the curl. It positively surpasses every living emotion I've ever had.
On ESPN 1700.
Yeah, good morning, San Diego and all of Southern California and everyone listening online at ESPNradio1700.com. This is WaXed, a surf talk radio show that airs normally every Saturday, always on Saturday, but normally at 10 a.m. to 11 a.m.-ish. We move around sometimes due to other paid programming that takes precedent to us, and it's completely understandable. And the best way to follow us to know what time we're on each week is to follow us on Twitter at WaXed Radio. And, of course, visit our website, waxedradio.com, where we podcast every segment of every show. A great show today. One of the best surfers in the world, Nat Young, is going to join us in about 10 minutes. Thank you, Natalie Rose, for booking that. Natalie Rose is one of the co-hosts of the program. Omar Etcheverry, my partner in crime. How are you guys doing this morning?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. How are you doing?
Good. O-Dog, how are you doing, brother?
I'm alive. Weather's absolutely beautiful up here. So, yeah, life's good. We could have some better waves, but whatever.
Yeah, we haven't had good waves in weeks. It's been a while.
Yeah. They said it's the flattest August in 10 years.
Really?
Yep, 10 years.
Who's they? Who said that?
Some writers on Surfline.
Not.
They're pretty good. So
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. They have some credibility. That's insane. That's a crazy stat.
Yeah, I know, right?
That is pretty.
Brutal.
That is pretty wild. And see, the thing is, you're up in Santa Cruz right now. Natalie and I have been suffering through what is becoming close to a 2-week heat wave here. And it's not the heat that's like just absolutely miserable about all this. It's the humidity. It's like if I wanted to live on the East Coast, I'd pay East Coast real estate prices. You know what I'm saying? Like, not the exorbitant amounts that we pay here in California to get the amazing weather. This is not amazing weather. This is East Coast disgusting weather. And for all you idiotic, moronic, stupid global warming deniers, this is being thrown in your face right now. Yeah, don't listen to all the scientists in the world. Listen to the idiot pundits on stupid talk shows. Like, morons, man. It is real.
It's so obvious, too, that the seasons are off. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, between waves, weather, it's September. What is going on?
It's insane, dude. But excited to have the one person who might be more famous than you in Santa Cruz on the show, Nat Young. That's thrilling.
Yeah, that'll be great. Got a great event coming up for him, too, with Lower starting in about 7 days.
Exactly. Well, let's take a quick break. When we come back, Natalie Rose will have a surf report for us. We'll find out just how flat things are. If there are some bumps out there, this is WaXed on ESPN 1700.
Visit our website, waxedradio.com, to get complete show podcasts and follow us on all social media at WaXed Radio. Now, here's your weekend surf report.
Yeah, so Omar just mentioned to us a moment ago that according to Surfline, this has been the flattest August or flattest month in, I believe, 10 years. So what's the surf report? What's going on out there?
Well, we have a south swell and a northwest wind swell, which means smaller waves across the board. Waves are anywhere from like waist high at the most. And surf is mainly just flat. It's so sad, but I mean, there's some broken lines and you can find some really nice corners. The surface is clean and it is a little bit hazy out right now, but as you know, we've had nice weather, so it does clear up as the day goes on. So if I were you, grab a longboard and go have some fun. It's kind of sad. I've been saying that, I think, for the last 3 or 4 weeks. Go grab a longboard, have some fun. It's true, so.
It's a nice way of saying it's flat.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this, dude.
But the surf's not very good right now because the high tide. There's like a 5.2 high tide right now at like 10, 15. So I'd wait till after the show if you're gonna surf.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Yeah, when the tide is low, there's something out there. There's actually some random sets that come through. You might be able to get a fun ride, but yeah, high tide just ruins it. O-Dog, what's it like up there?
I'd say, it's similar. So we have a little bit of a wind swell combo. I mean, waves are anywhere from 1 to 2 foot. It's definitely surfable. It looks really fun to go longboard. There might be some waves if you head north because it's a wind swell.
Mm-hmm.
So you might find a few waves up at places like Ocean Beach, places like that.
Gotcha. Yeah, Ocean Beach would actually be fun up in San Francisco. This is what Ocean Beach is made for. Is like this time of year. For people that don't know, Ocean Beach in San Francisco, it's like Surfline gives a 1 to 10 scale of like I forgot what they label it, but it's like the hardest paddle outs. And Ocean Beach gets a 10. It's so difficult to break through because it's just endless lines of whitewash. But this time of year, I mean, when it's flat everywhere else, dude, you get some fun like 3-foot waves there, if not bigger. So good call on that. It's a great call. By the way, Mike, a good friend of the program who runs a terrific surf forecast site, PacificWaveWriter.com, he tweeted at us at WaXed Radio a surf report from his hometown of Ventura, which actually gets the program up there. That's how strong the ESPN 1700 signal is. He tweeted at us that the surf conditions of Ventura are barely knee-high at Ventura Point today. Clear, sunny, and only half guys out, mainly chatting. Early, since I'm on the way to meet some friends at the Poor Man's Ranch, Yalama Beach, for a surf camp weekend. There is no cellular internet there, so he was getting all personal with this a little bit. But yeah, so same conditions everywhere. But the weather is nice up there at least, so you can just go lay out on the beach in Santa Cruz.
Yeah, the weather is absolutely beautiful. I mean, we're experiencing a heat wave, but in Santa Cruz, that makes it nice.
Yeah, exactly.
So it goes from a high of 69 to 80. So it's beautiful, and the weather's insane up here.
Go work on your tan. Gotta flip every 5 minutes.
Exactly.
Don't get burnt.
Get a little bronze sesh going. And that's the one nice thing about the weather going on here is the water temp is amazing right now. It feels so good to be in the water without wearing a wetsuit. So there's a perk to all that. Well, why don't we get one of the best surfers in the world, Nat Young, on the show next. This is WaXed on ESPN 1700.
Visit our website, waxedradio.com, to get complete show podcasts and follow us on all social media at WaXed Radio. Now, more WaXed.
Yeah, that's right. The name of the program is WaXed Radio here on ESPN 1700. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at WaXed Radio. And you can definitely follow our next guest on Twitter as well, who is, in my opinion, right now, the best surfer in California. I dare someone argue that point with me. Who is a better Californian surfer right now than our next guest, who's also the perennial favorite to win the ASP World Tour Rookie of the Year? An absolute pleasure to have him back on the program, Nat Young. Nat, welcome to the show. How are you doing, man?
I'm good. Good morning.
Morning, brother. How have you? You have had an incredible season so far. If you had to write a script and plan out your career, let's say in January, in terms of how to make this season about as good as you can possibly get. I mean, you followed it to the T. You've had some incredible results. I think the last time we had you on, you were a finalist. You finished second, I believe, at the contest of Bells. Correct me if I'm wrong. You've had numerous quarterfinal results, a semifinal result, if not two of them. I think you're currently 8th in the world overall for a rookie. Dude, how are you feeling about this year so far?
I'm feeling good. It's been going well, but my last contest I actually lost out first heat.
Yeah.
And that was the first one I've had this year, so I don't know. I'm excited for the next one, and I want to do good.
Absolutely, and hopefully we'll give you the mojo to turn things back around. You're referring to Chopu. It was just what was going on out there? Was it unusual for you? Was it just a random freakish heat, or was that a wave that maybe you needed some more training on? What do you think happened?
Definitely, it's a wave that I needed more practice at. It's a tricky wave. It's not like you can just go there for your first time and master the wave. So I think a lot of experience out there is helpful, and unfortunately I didn't really have any. So it was just a learning curve, and better prepared myself for next year. And so yeah, it was good.
Absolutely. And we're joined by Nat Young here on WaXed.
And are you going to spend some more time there next year, just to get used to it? I know that you went on a trip a little while ago there to get used to the wave already. Is that correct?
Yeah, I went earlier in the year, but the thing was that when I went the first time, it was a south swell, and then for the contest, it was kind of like a west swell, so it was a completely different wave. So that first trip didn't really help at all.
Tell the listeners real quick, what is the difference with Chopu between a south swell and a west swell? How different of a wave is it when the swell direction changes like that?
Well, when it's a south slope, it breaks up the point a little bit, or up the reef, so there's like longer waves, and it's a completely different takeoff. And then when it's west, it like comes out of the channel, and like it's this big wall. Like I don't know, it's just a different takeoff spot, and different waves are good. So I didn't know like which waves are good or where to sit. So it was tough.
Gotcha. Well, it's good to know that like inexperience was the reason, because now all you have to do is go back out there and train, and you'll dominate like you're doing everywhere else.
No, I mean, I've made some mistakes, but I think it would come with inexperience. The mistakes I made, that's why I lost. But I don't know. I would hope that I could, not make those mistakes with a little more practice out there.
Right. Absolutely. We're joined by Nat Young here on WaXed. We had we have a lot of like veteran surfers who are on the program, guys who used to be on the ASP World Tour, who are kind of wrapping their careers up, like Pat O'Connell, like Benji Weatherly, like Kalani Robb. And when your name comes up, like it's like unanimous that you're such a terrific ambassador for the sport. You say all the right things. You're in the spotlight for just the good reasons. And on top of everything else, like dude, in my opinion, like you are exactly the type of surfer I love. You dig in deep for all these waves. You hack hard. You're a power surfer. Like, who do you credit for everything getting here so far? Because so far, man, you're ripping, dude. I'm so proud of you, dude. You're doing an amazing job on the tour and just everything in general. Like, is this just you being headstrong? Do you have good leadership, a good mentor? Like, what do you credit so far to just really doing an amazing job?
I mean, I've had a lot of support throughout my surfing career, and my biggest help is my mom. Without the help of her, I wouldn't like be able to be where I'm at right now. So that was the biggest help. And just the waves up here in Santa Cruz are, I feel like they've kind of fine-tuned my surfing, and the waves up here I can relate to, like in my heats on tour, because they're they're good waves and stuff. So I feel like that has been a help for sure.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. O-Dog.
Yeah, okay, I'm looking at the ratings, Nat. You are 6th in the world, mid-year. This is where you make the decision. Do you do any QSs or qualifying series, whatever they're called nowadays, or do you just focus on the tour? I mean, you are, obviously well qualified into next year. Are you just going to focus on the tour?
Yeah, I made that decision after Bells. I just said that I was going to focus all my time on the CT events and, really put all my effort into those and not spread myself out with the QS and the CT. So, I think I'll do the Triple Crown. So
okay.
Those will be the QSs that I'll do. But other than that, I think there's only one more prime in Southern Europe. I don't think I'm going to do it, though.
Smart. It's very smart.
That's good. That's good. I mean, you have lowers coming up. Have you been training for lowers? Have you been down there a little bit, or you been up in Santa Cruz? I mean, it's flat everywhere. So where have you been?
I haven't surfed lowers in like over a year, but I was at home right after after Chopu. I've been training a lot at home, and then I just actually got home yesterday from the Mentawais. I went there with Dane Reynolds and Andrew Doheny for a few days. So I got some really fun waves, and I'm excited for those. I feel prepared, both surfing and training wise, so it'll be good.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that, and we're joined by Nat Young here on WaXed, just because I saw a story. I don't know if it deserved like the headline big news story that Surfer Magazine gave it, but it mentioned that on that trip you went with Dane, and Dane injured his wrist. Like, what happened there?
He hurt his wrist. He tried a rodeo and landed wrong, and his arm got stuck between like his knee and his board, and it was like super swollen. So he he didn't want to surf and injure it anymore. So he hasn't gotten to the doctor until he got home. So I'm not exactly sure what happened, but it was really swollen on the trip.
Damn. Do you think he broke it, or what happened? What do you think the injury is?
I don't know. It might just be it could be sprained or something. I really wouldn't know. I'm not an expert with that, but
right.
It was really swollen. So I don't know, whatever that means.
I know, right?
Bummer, and he has the wild card for lowers too.
Exactly.
Bummer.
Well, how'd that trip get organized? Are you guys all good friends? Was it a sponsor deal? Like, how'd you guys all go out there together?
I have the same manager as Dane now, so I actually just signed with him, and
Nice.
he kind of put me on that trip with him, and it was cool for me because that's something I normally don't get to go on trips like that with those kind of guys. So it was really cool that I got the opportunity.
Dude, that's great, dude. Because Dane, he doesn't compete that much anymore, but in terms of free surfing, he still receives as much attention as anybody. And to go on trips with him, dude, that's how you know you made it, dude. When you're like at the elite surf trips. Congrats. That's great.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was like the first time I'd really gotten to meet him and stuff. I was a little starstruck, but it was really fun.
Nice.
That's good. And your board's feeling good. You feel dialed in. Are you ready for the next event?
Yeah, I'm ready for the next event. I'm picking up a bunch of boards before I go down to Lowers, which I'll probably go down next week and get down there early and try them all. So I'm excited.
Exactly. Now, you're in terms of training for the event, we're joined by Nat Young here on WaXed. Besides the trip to Mentawais, are you doing mostly like weightlifting, like yoga? Like, what kind of training are you doing outside the water?
It's like a combination of like strength training and rotational stuff and balance stuff. It's stuff I can kind of carry over into the water that would translate into surfing and stuff. And I do that like 4 or 5 times a week before I left because the waves have just been so bad here. I've just been doing whatever I can to stay in good shape and ready.
Absolutely. Natalie.
Right.
Natalie's behind the other side of the glass. By the way, Nat, if you ever actually met Natalie, I think you'd be very impressed, brother. But do you have a question for our guest of the day?
I don't have. I have a couple of questions. You want to play a game, Nat?
Let's play.
All right. Hold on one second. We have to have a little music because
absolutely.
Music is fun.
Elements are fun in radio.
So these are going to be a couple of questions you're not quite used to being asked, but we're going to start off easy, so don't stress too much, okay?
Okay.
All right. First question of the day. Are you ready?
I am.
Okay. If you could be anything besides a professional surfer, like another professional athlete, what would you be?
Another professional athlete? I would be a soccer or a basketball player.
Why?
I have a lot of fun playing basketball, so that would be that reason, and I like rap music.
I love it.
That would be that reason.
You know, Nat, I forgot to ask this last time. I'm glad you brought that up. You're a huge Golden State Warriors fan, is that correct?
I'm a big Bay Area fan.
Yes, so am I, dude. I'm going insane about the Niners playing tomorrow. Love the Warriors. Dig it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. So I'm actually stoked that I'm actually going to be home to watch the season opener for the 49ers.
Nice. Yeah, and they play the Packers tomorrow. Are you, you and Omar are both from Santa Cruz. What do you think about the local team? You guys now have like a D-League team in Santa Cruz. I think they're called the Santa Cruz Waves, or are they still the Warriors?
Warriors. Warriors.
Do you guys go watch those games?
I've never been to a game, but I've had a bunch of friends that have gone, and they say it's really fun. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's great.
They did a great job. It's super fun. The whole community gets into it. It's pretty rad. It's definitely a good thing for Santa Cruz.
Yeah, I think a great thing. That's amazing. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Natalie. What other questions do you have?
Now we're going to have a little fun.
Okay.
Would you rather be an Abercrombie and Fitch model, or would you rather be a Thunder Down Under dancer in Vegas?
Ooh.
What's a Thunder Down? I don't even know what that is.
Okay, they're like male strippers.
Oh, shoot. I don't know if I'm too good at dancing, and so I don't know if that would work.
So Abercrombie?
So I guess so.
Because
I don't know, Nat. You're pretty buff right now. You might be a good Thunder guy for sure.
I'd rather do neither, if that's an option.
okay, we'll put you as Chippendale then. Third option.
There we go.
There you go.
We got to get cut out Nat's head and put it on one of those videos where the Chippendale dancer is dancing and only it's Nat's head on there.
Well, he's an up-and-coming surfer, and he's young, and girls like that. So I'm sure all the ladies are around you, so I had to ask.
There you
go.
All right, if you could meet anybody in the world, dead or alive, who would you meet?
Anybody in the world?
Yeah. Or if you could meet anybody, just dead or alive, who would you meet?
True, I don't know. Maybe Drake or, I don't know, LeBron James or President Obama, one of them.
All right.
Okay, that's
good.
cool.
El Presidente is a great answer. I like that.
All right. Now, you travel a lot. So would you rather own your own yacht or your own plane?
I'd rather own my own plane.
Your own plane? Why?
I think yachts are a lot of maintenance and a lot of work. and I usually take a plane to most of the places, I guess. So it'd be a little more convenient.
And you could have your own stewardess. Hey.
Hey, now.
I love it.
There you go.
And a plane is way more baller status, too. I mean, don't get me wrong, dude. Owning a yacht is pimp. But a plane, I mean, that's like where you differentiate between rich and wealthy. The plane, I think, is where you draw the line. Like, if you own a plane, you are wealthy. You're Oprah rich, you know?
It'd make everything really easy, so it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then my last question for you, there's a couple of questions that go along with it, so brace yourself. But were you homeschooled or did you go to school?
I went to school up until sophomore year, and then I had to go to homeschool because my teachers wouldn't let me miss school.
Okay. So in that case, who is your favorite teacher and why?
My favorite teacher? I don't know. I had a math teacher that I really liked. He was really hard, but he was a good teacher. I don't know. A lot of people didn't like him, but I liked him.
You like the hard ones, huh?
He was just a good teacher, so I like them.
Nice. What, in your opinion, what made him a good teacher to you?
He was really hard on me, but he was like, he let me travel and take all my work, and as long as I was like, you know, up to date on all my work and teaching myself, he was all good with it, and so it was good.
So he didn't basically try to micromanage you. He just respected hard work, basically.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
If I was learning it, like whether I was learning it from him or teaching myself, that was what he cared about.
See, now I thought we had a connection, but I hate math, so now I feel total opposite, but I still love you.
Thank you. I don't really like math, but I was decent at it, so I guess it was okay.
Nice. I respect that, dude. There's another facet to Nat Young that's impressive, is intelligence. I love it. I dig it, dude. You are definitely filling that role as a surf ambassador very nicely, sir. O-Dog, anything else?
Yeah, I got a couple questions.
Yeah.
Okay, you did really well in Hawaii last year. Are you excited going into the Triple Crown? I mean, that's a big one for you. You do really well out there. I mean, all of us were rooting for you to get into pipe last year. Now you get to surf in it. I mean, are you pumped? I would be freaking out.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I love going to Hawaii, and, you know, pipe's probably one of my favorite waves in the world. And, you know, to get to surf a heat out there with only a couple of guys out and have the option to go on any of the waves that come through with priority is going to be, you know, it's going to be amazing. So I'm really looking forward to that. And, you know, it's going to be such a bonus to do good out there because then I'll just be able to surf more heats and get more barreled.
Dude, absolutely.
And my other question is, okay, we got a great title race going. I mean, you're obviously right next to it. I mean, you're 6, you know, and that's right in that area, top 10. Of course, you know, now it's kind of going, it seems like top 4 people are kind of battling all of a sudden. What's your take on it? What's it like being around it? I mean, Kelly versus Mick, you know, I've been around these guys for years, and, you know, Kelly is kind of like the silent threat, you know, that is extremely ruthless. You know, people don't realize how ruthless Kelly Slater is. You know, he's probably the biggest mind, you know, trickery guy in the heat you'll ever meet. But what's your take on the whole title race? I mean, is it fun to be around it? I mean, you're pretty close to it. You're up there. But what's your take?
Oh, it's interesting. You know, Mick hasn't had worse quarterfinal finish this year, so that's pretty amazing. And the fact that he's in the second is even more amazing because, I don't know, it's just crazy you can do that good and still be in second place. So,
yeah,
it's going to be interesting coming because those guys both are so good at it every wave. And, you know, it's going to be interesting coming into these next couple comps. You know, there's like 3 in a row, so it'll be good. Whoever gets on a roll, really, you know.
Yeah, I think there's...
get on a roll and just, you know, start and make every final or something.
Nice. And who are you rooting for? I'm totally curious. And I got one other question about Kelly, but who are you rooting for?
I'm not really rooting for anyone yet. I don't know. I don't know.
Nice. You're rooting for yourself. That's what you should be doing. And okay, Nat Rose brought up something rad about Kelly Slater last show. Okay, you're around Kelly Slater. Have you ever seen him wear sunglasses? Is that just weird? Have you ever seen this?
Great question. We talked about this a lot last week because he never wears sunglasses, ever.
Yeah, never.
I have never seen him wear sunglasses, I don't think.
Oh, see you guys again. What the heck?
We need to start keeping a tally.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
ask everyone when they come on, and we'll do like a petition, like a tally thing.
Okay, tell everyone on tour, our show will give them $50 for a photo. If they get
Kelly with
we'll
sunglasses
buy
on?
them drinks or something.
Or even better, so one of the things, we have a new like faux sponsor. Every in-studio guest of the program gets a free Magic Flight vaporizer. So Nat, if you're ever around and want to join us in the studio for a session, you get a free Magic Flight vaporizer. They're awesome.
Sounds good.
But if anybody gets that picture of Kelly wearing sunglasses, they will get a free Magic Flight.
Man, I have to go put some sunglasses on and take a photo of him.
Yeah, totally. You know what's crazy, by the way, and we're joined by Nat Young, who's currently 6th in the world on the ASP World Tour. They dropped the 2 lowest scores. And I think this last event at Chopu was really the only event you've surfed this year where you didn't have like a great result. So given that, is your overall ranking even higher than 6th?
No, I don't think so. I think I've already had 2. I think I got last place at Chopu, and then I've had a 13th at the first contest of the year. So, hopefully I can do better than both of those, and those would be my throwaways.
Exactly. That's crazy, man. What a great season you've had. And the 4 remaining contests are, I believe, Trestles. You got the 2 in Europe. I think the Quicksilver Pro France. I think they hold at Hossiger. And where's the other one? Is that Portugal?
Portugal, yeah.
And then they wrap it up at Pipeline. How confident are you feeling with these 4? Like, are you familiar with all the waves, or are some of these untested? Like, how are you feeling going into these last 4 events?
Well, I feel really comfortable. I've been doing contests and surfing lower since I was 12 years old. So, I've had some practice out there, and
nice.
And France and Portugal, they're both beach breaks. So last year on the QS I was surfing beach breaks pretty much all year. But really, I feel like no one's got too big of an advantage at a beach break because it's just, it's the waves breaking all over the place. There's not really like a specific takeoff or lineup or secret lineup like that. So, I feel confident for those, and I've been surfing pipes since I was a little kid, and I have a lot of fun surfing out there. I mean, I don't know that wave too well, but I'm just excited to be able to surf in it.
Right. And I can imagine being goofy footer has an advantage, at least at Pipeline. And we're joined by Nat Young here on WaXed. For us commoner surfers, maybe I'm just in, lone company there. I don't know if Natalie's included in that. Omar used to be a pro surfer, but, surfing backhand is just not as comfortable. You know what I'm saying? I'll do it, but I know I look sort of goofy in the process, look weird, probably look like I'm squatting on a toilet when I'm going backhand. But for you grew up surfing backhand. That's all you've done. I mean, Santa Cruz, the land of right-hand point breaks, and here you are going backside. Is that advantageous to you growing up? Does that make you a more well-rounded surfer, or is it irrelevant?
Well, I think it was kind of like a blessing being goofy foot in Santa Cruz because, it made me develop my backhand really beforehand. But any chance I get to go left, I take it. So,
right.
If it was the other way around and I was regular foot on all these perfect rights, I would never want to go left. So, it worked out.
Beautiful. I love it. Omar, any more questions, brother?
Yeah, no, it's well said. I mean, I'd say that was the weak link in every professional surfer from Santa Cruz until Nat Young, was they had a horrible backhand. They'll all admit it. That was their weak spot. They would excel in places like J-Bay and completely bog out on any other place with the left. So, I think Nat is right on right there. I got one other question about your equipment. What are you riding right now? I know during the last Red Bull videos, you touched base about your boards a little bit. But what's your magic stick right now? What are the dimensions and what are you riding?
My magic boards right now are rookies. I really get a lot of good ones of that model, the rookie, and I'm going to go back and forth between 5'11" and 6'0", 18 and a half and 2 1/4, I think. And, so those work good. And then for California, it's a little different. The waves are a little softer, and you got to generate kind of speed on your own. So I've been riding epoxies at home a bit, and they feel really good.
Interesting.
Nice.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of people have been moving towards the epoxies for California. I know I talked to Josh Kerr and a couple other guys, and they said it's been working really well.
Yeah, they seem to have a lot more, and I just go a lot faster and are really light and maneuverable.
I love it.
And with all the working out, what are you weighing in right now?
170.
Wow.
Oh, getting some muscle on there, boy.
Yeah, dude. To be honest, I actually thought you weighed more. I mean, you look cut. That's
that's the weight is 170, and that's what I'm hearing.
Beautiful.
Hey, now he's ready to dance.
Yeah.
I love it. Natalie, any more questions for our guest, Nat Young?
No, that's about it for today. I'm sure next time you come on, I'll have plenty, though.
Absolutely. And before we let you go, Nat, everyone can follow you on Twitter. It's Nat Young NY. Is that correct?
That is.
Beautiful. And who has the original Nat Young? Who deserves to be just pimp slapped for taking that handle away from you?
I think it might be the other Nat Young, maybe.
Really? That'd be
okay, that's worthy.
Yeah, that's the only exception. Yeah, would be the original Nat Young. That's it. So if that's him, okay. All right, fair enough. So Nat Young NY, if you want to follow him on Twitter. Instagram also, is that the same handle?
It's just Nat_Young on Instagram, actually.
Beautiful. Nat_Young on Instagram, Nat Young NY on Twitter. And who's paying all your bills? List all your sponsors.
Hurley, Channel Islands, Creatures of Leisure, and FCS Fins.
That's a solid lineup, dude.
Nice.
You always know the prestige of the surfer by who's paying the bills, and that's as solid as it gets, man. Congratulations on everything.
Thank you, guys.
And Trestles is coming up in a week. Nat, dude, we wish you all the best. I speak on behalf of my co-host and saying we're huge fans of yours, dude, and we're grateful that you take some time out of your morning to come on the program. We hope you do really well at the contest and the rest of the year, and we hope to get you on either before or after you win the ASP World Tour Rookie of the Year award, because we know you're going to get that.
Yeah, thanks.
Don't jinx it, but thank you.
No. Believe me, I wouldn't. It's just, dude, you're too good. It's beyond that, dude. You're on a roll. And to be honest, there's really no one else on the tour who's threatening you with that, is there? I mean, you're the standout rookie, are you not?
Oh, Saatsaz and Lito too, and they have good chances all the way too, so it should be interesting.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna get it, dude. I promise you. I'll knock on a little wood just to be safe. Just did it.
You're good.
You're all good, dude. And you got the mojo rolling from WaXed, so you're going to be dominating again for the rest of the year. And dude, congrats on everything, brother. Thanks for representing California so solid. I know especially Santa Cruz you represent. But, dude, you're representing all of California right now, dude. You're the number one surfer from this region. And congrats on everything. And, go kick some ass in Trestles, brother.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And we'll be back some news. That's Nat Young here on WaXed on ESPN 1700.
Visit our website, waxedradio.com, to get complete show podcasts and follow us on all social media at WaXed Radio. Now, here's a recap of the weekend surf news.
Yeah, Natalie Rose handles the news. Before we get to that, I want to thank Nat Young again. Follow him on Twitter, Nat Young NY, on Instagram, Nat_Young. Huge fan of the kid. Just massively just in adoration of that guy, dude. Love it.
Yeah, he's a total sweetheart. Super nice.
Omar, does he roll around Santa Cruz with horse and carriage?
Yeah, he's definitely the most popular surfer, that we've had in a long time as well. I mean, he's a guy that any surf fan recognizes. So
yeah,
he's got his entourage. I think the great part about him too is he's not a guy to stick to one side of town, which is really cool. I know Kieran was a big influence, and Kieran's an Eastsider, and I know his trainer is right down the street from my house. So he'll surf up north, west side. He'll come to the east side, train, run, surf the east side. So it's great to see him kind of all over the place versus some of our past professionals were kind of didn't leave a 5-mile radius at some when they're at home, you know.
And you're referring, when you say Kieran, you're referring to Kieran Horn, who a former winner of the O'Neill Coldwater Classic, and mentor for a lot of surfers, including Nat Young. Yeah, he's very transcendent. He's like you said, he's not stuck. He's from the west side, but he mingles with the east on a regular basis.
Yeah, and surfs all over the place. The guy surfs so much and trains so much. He's over at Rocky's Gym, like you said, 5 days a week. I mean, is there more days of the week? 7, I guess. You're working on the weekend too. He's crazy. You
got to take some days off too. Is it? I mean, it's might be too early to say this, but do you think he's on his way, or maybe already there, in terms of being the most successful surfer out of Santa Cruz?
Yeah, I believe he's pretty close. I mean, he's still a rookie, so
right.
I don't know if you could call him. And as far as placing-wise, actually, Chris Gallagher has received a second at G-Land back when they had a tour event in G-Land. So until he wins a tour event, and gets a few more years on tour, I don't know if he would be the most successful. Chris Gallagher would probably be statistically the most successful. And Chris Gallagher has won a few prime events as well. He won a prime event in Portugal and a few other ones, and 2 Coldwater Classics. So, Nat, pretty soon, I would imagine, unless things go wrong. But at the moment, it's still Chris Gallagher.
Gotcha. But Nat Young is on his way, and thanks again to Nat Young for joining the program. If you missed that interview, visit our website, waxedradio.com. We podcast every show. And that'll be available later today. Again, just go to waxedradio.com to enjoy all the podcasts of the program. We got some news coming up. Natalie, what's been happening in the world of surfing?
Well, we're going to take you all the way to Hawaii. And Jaron Ching, who was 19 years old, had a surfboard crash through his window. He was driving on the freeway. He was driving his girlfriend's car, by the way. And yeah, I was like, oh, that sucks.
Because his girlfriend doesn't know how to drive, right?
Well, he's driving his girlfriend's car, but it just would suck if it's not your car.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you have to explain to your friend or your girlfriend or your mom or dad, by the way, this happened, But anyways, so he's driving his girlfriend's car, and an 810 longboard, they said, went flying through the windshield. And it basically just missed his head. And he was saying to KHON, the local news station there, he was like, can someone please come claim your surfboard? He's like, I don't know whose this is. I don't want to pay for this. And this basically almost killed me. So he is pissed off to the max. And which I was kind of surprised because it's such a surf community, but I guess I would be pretty pissed too if a surfboard almost killed me.
Well, the fascinating part of the story, when I first read this story, I immediately pictured a surfboard strapped on the roof of a vehicle flying off, because sometimes you'll see on the freeways surfboards just kind of just doing that wobble, like they're not tied on right. And you could just picture it just flying off, and, God forbid it flies through the windshield of a car behind you, because that thing's flying. It's a massive projectile it could kill you. But that's not what happened in this story. In this story, and my apologies if you already mentioned this, I wasn't sure if you did, the surfboard fell from an overpass. And so it kind of fell from the sky right into his windshield. So, in essence, somebody lost the surfboard either walking on an overpass or driving above and it fell down. They don't know. But insane. I mean, that's because a surfboard going that speed could kill you very easily.
Have you guys seen the photos on Instagram of this?
No.
Oh, my gosh, hilarious. It looks literally fake. The board is sticking out of the windshield. I don't know how they survive. It's really funny looking, but scary at the same time.
Well, are the fins up and the nose is down too? The nose went through?
No, it looks more like it fell off. Went from another car. That's what it looks like. So it's not straight up and down. It's horizontal, bam, right through the passenger and the driver window. It looks crazy, sticking halfway out. It looks hilarious.
Damn. And so it's crazy. Whoever owns the surfboard, I don't think it can't be that difficult for the police to find them, because a lot of surfboards these days are custom, and the fingerprints are going to be all over that thing. I'm surprised they haven't found the person yet, unless whoever owned it doesn't have an arrest record, in which case the fingerprints are moot. But they got to catch. I mean, the person who's responsible for that has to step up. That's really bad. You know what I'm saying? You don't lose surfboards over overpasses. That's really bad. I mean, jeez, dude, it's so crazy, this guy. And I love, you're right, like, you just read the quote. I love the guy who's like, hey, man, you almost killed me and everything, so can you please just kind of say something?
Come claim your board and fix my car.
At the very least, pay for the windshield. At the very least.
I mean, imagine what his girlfriend said, though, when he came home. It was like, hey, what's up? Your car. She's probably like, I don't know.
Well, if she's a good girlfriend, she's happy that he survived. I would hope that's her first reaction.
Let's just have fun with it and imagine she was pissed off.
She probably was. Chicks.
Yep. She's like... But you know what's so crazy is we've actually had, like, me and my brother, there was no one behind us, but we had a board fly off the top. And it's like, it was because, like, we didn't have it strapped down all the way or something. And we were just like, holy. And they did get ruined. Even if they don't hit anything, they just hit the ground.
Done.
Yeah, it's done.
I had friends of mine in college who went on a road trip to Mexico, and they were driving through Baja when that happened, and they said the board barely missed the car behind them.
Oh my goodness!
And they were so freaked out by it, they just kept going because they didn't want Mexican police getting involved and all. They just bailed. But it happens. It's super sketch. If you ever strap your surfboard on your car, dude, be diligent about that. I mean, it could cause some really serious harm. And you got to live with that for the rest of your life. You have to deal with those repercussions all because you were too lazy or just didn't double check your surfboard being strapped. It's super sketch. But, it's a good thing this guy escaped major harm. And hopefully they catch the person. That's so crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. Moving on. Okay, so when you sent me this story, Cyrus, I was so excited because this is like my celebrity crush.
Okay.
Okay, so anyways, David Beckham went surfing and it was all over the news and all over Instagram. Did you see this one, Omar?
No, I didn't. I've heard he surfs, though.
Yeah, he went surfing with his boys and they had a good old time. So he was up in Los Angeles I had to share that. Actually, I just want to tell everyone I have a crush on him, but
oh, you're all alone in that.
Yeah,
no one else does.
Was he surfing with Matt Damon? Are you sure?
No, he's just with his sons.
And to be clear, he was boogie boarding in this case.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh. I was gonna say I've seen pictures of him boogie boarding, but
the Hollywood thing with surfing, it always makes me laugh, just because you can tell these guys are just trying to be cool. But there are some of these Hollywood types that actually know how to surf. They're actually legit surfers. This one will surprise you. Like Will Smith and his family, solid surfers. They get it. They know how to do it. If you actually Google it, Will Smith and his wife and his kids, dude, they will stand up and they'll be sitting there carving turns right in the face. They know how to do it. They're not just sitting there on a longboard trying just to balance themselves in the whitewash. Like, they're real surfers. And then even better than them, truly gifted surfers are the Gallagher brothers. No, Gallagher, that's not the Hemsworth brothers. The guy who played Thor and his brother, the one who's engaged to Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, Miley Cyrus's boyfriend or whatever.
They're from Australia. They started surfing when they were kids. Their dad's a big surfer. So they're actually real surfers. Like, they know exactly what they're doing. And you can tell they're gifted athletes. I mean, they're ripped. But yeah, they know how to surf too. So there are some guys in the whole Hollywood scene who know how to do it. David Beckham, boogie boarder, so I don't know if he really knows.
He can do whatever and it looks good, okay? I don't really care.
Matt Damon at least is honest, with himself. Like, he's not out there claiming he's a surfer. He admits, he's like, look, I've done it for 6 weeks. Waves that seem big to me are probably not big at all to experienced surfers. But he loves it, and in the end, that's what it's all about. It's a great workout. You're connecting directly with nature. And I always love the Zen aspect of it. You're forced to be in the moment, which is so difficult to do in just normal life. It's hard to just kind of escape worrying about the future, thinking about the past, and for me at least, I love that aspect of it. You're just right in that moment. You have to be, and it's great. That's what life's all about. So good for these guys for trying. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah. Let's just hope he's not telling people he went surfing. Like during the day, hey, what'd you do today? I went surfing.
Bro.
He went bodyboarding. Like, come on.
I know, right?
That'd be hilarious.
I'm a surfer, bro.
Anyways, I was more interested in his wife, but
I love his wife too.
She's starting to look haggard, though. Have you seen pictures of her the last year or so?
You guys are such haters.
She's
kind of bringing Torn back, huh?
She's a little bit, dude. Well, she's almost, she's 38, 39.
She's had 3 kids.
She's had a bunch of plastic surgery,
Hello,
probably.
she was a Spice Girl.
I think she has 4 kids. I think they have 4.
Oh,
maybe 3.
I don't know. Yeah.
She's starting to get a little beat though. But
No, you know what? She has a platinum vibrator, so she's cool.
Oh.
Does she
Platinum.
really?
Yep. You got to read the tabloids. The thing was like $100,000 or something. It was a birthday present from Beckham.
You know, my prediction is this couple is gonna split up in like 3 years. I'll give it 3. He's too good looking of a dude. He's gonna age well until about 50. She's already starting to break down. He's either gonna cheat on her or it's just gonna end.
Hey, you know what? Unless she is a true wife to a true professional athlete, and some of those are okay with cheating.
Fair enough. Yes.
You never know.
Yes, an understanding relationship.
There you go.
All right, I've been saying a lot of bad things. What else is going on in the news, Natalie?
Okay, did you guys see this video? The Personal Watercraft that attempt to rescue Kelly Slater? Did you guys see
I did.
that?
Did you see it, O-Dog?
No, what is it?
You haven't seen this?
No.
Oh my gosh, this is crazy. I haven't seen it in a while, so I totally can't remember it exactly off the top of my head. But if you guys are listening at home or when you get home, or even you right now, Omar, you need to Google it and Google Personal Watercraft attempts to rescue Kelly.
Watercraft.
Yeah, they have personal craft in here for some reason, but
okay.
PWC.
Yeah. The W stands for water.
No, I know. I'm trained in them. Okay. Anyways, but yeah, no, it's so crazy because this PWC attempt to rescue Kelly Slater, and when they were attempting to rescue him and paddle back out, basically it was at the Chopu contest, the Billabong Pro in Tahiti. The PWC went over the falls and took Kelly Slater with them, and they lost everything. They landed on the beach, and then Kelly Slater had to paddle back out on his own. He's screw these guys, and just left them. And you could tell the guys on the PWC were just holy, you know what I mean? What just happened?
It's an incredibly awkward video. It was the Billabong Pro Tahiti, O-Dog. If you Google it, it's on the contest site's video page, and for whatever reason, Kelly was getting assistance from this personal watercraft that Natalie just mentioned. But the weird part is there was a driver, and then there was another guy who was sitting on the sled who was trying to pull Kelly in, and Kelly didn't need that to begin with. So Kelly's getting bear hugged by this guy. The guy's dragging him in like he's a baby, and then they the timing was completely off. They
put way too much power going up into the wave, because usually with those things you're supposed to be really hesitant and not just charge and almost run away from him, and he was just going right into it.
Botched it. And Kelly could have gotten seriously injured in this thing. It's it's surprising this hasn't received more news. And then Kelly bailed to ditch those guys and just started running on the reef. It was really shallow water where they were at too. That was the crazy part. They wiped out, he stood up, and it was in 1 foot of water. And he just started running over all this reef. I don't think there's much sand there. Is there, O-Dog?
I'm watching it right now, and this is what a mess up. Oh my gosh.
Horrible. I mean, it's just
why is the guy trying to help? I mean, it's only 6 foot.
Exactly.
Bear hugs him, and Natalie, you're totally right. They say if you ever go to a rescue class, they say slow as pro. So he comes in too hot, almost clips him, and then the guy bear hugs him, and then he falls in dry reef. That is set sharp reef. Kelly Slater is so gnarly. See him running through it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Google it. It's hilarious. Oh my god.
He stood up and just started running on this sharp reef. It's no sweat to him at all, dude. It's crazy. And then just
oh my gosh, urchin. Oh my gosh.
I mean, he is amazing. He doesn't wear sunglasses, runs on reefs.
Or sunscreen.
Yeah, no sunscreen.
He slept with the hottest girls in the world.
Ever.
I know.
Now he's walking on water. I mean, he's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's worth mentioning again, we got to go back to the list now of Kelly Slater's conquests. So Pam Anderson, pre-Hep C.
Bar.
So Pam Anderson in her prime. Who'd you say?
Bar
Raffaelli, that's right. Cameron Diaz in her prime. And see, now I'm forgetting somebody again. Damn it. I always forget one person on this list.
Giselle?
Thank you. Giselle Bundchen. Tom Brady has Kelly Slater's sloppy seconds. You got to respect that. Have to respect that. Go Kelly. And now his current girlfriend is another supermodel, but she's the humble, doesn't have a whole list of previous conquistadors. What's her name? Kalani Miller.
Yes.
And I love how, like, he hasn't married her yet. He's just taking his sweet time. He's like, he's probably just waiting until she absolutely pressures him to do it.
He's like the George Clooney of surfing.
Yes. Great call, Natalie.
Totally.
That's a good call. I love it.
Fantastic.
Like, George Clooney always dates these, like, gorgeous girls, and they'll be totally, like, best personality in the world, and then he'll be like, nope, I'm over you.
Yeah,
Like,
moving on.
doesn't want to get married. But then again, I mean, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt have it going on. Just get married and get a soccer team going. Like, don't get married. Just be together and organize a soccer team. They have so many kids.
Yeah, Kelly. Another good analogy with Kelly Slater in terms of comparable celebrity or athlete is Derek Jeter. I think Jeter is the only other athlete who has a more impressive conquest list than Slater.
Seriously.
But yeah, what's Select Company? Those guys. And you know what's crazy? My suspicion is that those guys all have like a 2-week window every year where they all kind of hang out. There's like a bit on Jimmy Kimmel of like the Handsome Gentleman's Club. I get the feel. I have a suspicion that there really is such a thing. Maybe for like 2 weeks out of the year, they all find some remote island somewhere and they all just share their stories about what they've done and how amazing it is to be themselves. And I could be wrong. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's hilarious. That'd be a fun island to be on.
It would be.
How do you do it? Oh, well, I'm amazingly good-looking and talented. I mean,
I'm handsome.
Yeah.
And they have all these sex slaves on the island with them, and it must be a grand old time.
Oh, my God.
Do we have time for any more stories, or is that it?
I think that's it for today.
We done?
I think we did pretty good.
I think that's great, too. Anytime you run down Kelly Slater's conquest list.
I know. That's a good story all on its own.
Great way to wrap it up. We're on the cusp of offending a lot of people, but not quite there. Slightly misogynist, but not really. That's a good way to stop. I think we reached our nice climax point there. O-Dog, have a wonderful rest of the weekend.
You too, and thanks, everyone, for listening in.
Absolutely. And thanks again to Nat Young, who joined the program earlier today, one of the top surfers in the world, arguably the best surfer hailing from California. He's going to be competing next week in the Hurley Pro Trestles, and we're going to be covering that next week as well in the program. Natalie, you may or may not be here next week?
Next week, is that the 20th?
14th.
Oh, I will be here next week. The following week, I'm going to Vegas.
Oh,
hey.
Viva Las Vegas.
Yeah,
Gotta love that.
That's the one where I'll come back in late where Omar's like, hey, why were you late? Oh, I was in Vegas.
Vegas, baby.
Yeah, I'm going to go to Thunder Down Under and watch Nat Young.
Oh, as long as you make it to Olympic Garden, we're cool.
Oh, beautiful. Well, special thanks again to Nat Young. If you missed that interview, visit our website, waxedradio.com, where we podcast every segment of every show. We just podcast the entire show, period. We have terrific photo galleries of the hottest surfer chicks in the world. They're on our page. Yeah, just go check it out. And we also archive a lot of the interviews that Omar and I did with our previous radio show. They're terrific listens. If you plug your iPod in when you're driving, you have like an insane amount of terrific podcasts pertaining to surfing and action sports right at your fingertips. Just visit our website, waxedradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at waxedradio. O-Dog, you got to get a Twitter account, dude. The time's now.
I know. I'm old. I got a kid, though. It's tough.
I know, but you're a member of the media, and I believe me, it almost disgusts me to like tell you to do that. But it's like if you're in the media, it's necessary. It's a necessary evil.
I will. We
have to get it. And I guarantee you'll have like 1,000 followers right off the bat, the second you start that account up.
Oh, gosh.
But O-Dog, have a great rest of the weekend. Natalie Rose, you rule. You rocked it. Thank you. You have a great weekend as well.
Same to you. Have lots of fun, whatever you do.
Thank you. I'm just going to be studying. That's all I'm doing. Grad school for me. But we'll be back next week. We'll have a terrific guest. And make sure you follow us on Twitter again, at WaXed Radio, to find out who the guests are, great surf news, and what time we're on each week. At the moment, we're going to be on from 10 to 11. That is our time slot right now. This is WaXed on ESPN 1700.
Oh, yeah.
That is it for us today, and we will leave you with a... I can't do it. No. We'll do it live. Do it live. And thing sucks.